All right.
Go ahead, Dopest.
What's good? What's good? It's your main man, King Dopest, over here at Dopest TV, along with my man, The Smokey Show. And we got a special guest in the building today, a legend in the hip hop community out here on the West Coast, Reggie Wright Jr. Reggie, man, welcome. I appreciate you hopping on here with us.
Well, respect. Thanks for having me on the Grown Man show, and shout out to you, Dopus, and also to your partner, Kings, the Smoky Show. Okay.
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
appreciate it.
No doubt.
Yes.
Smokey,
So Reggie, man, I had to get you on here, man. I shout out to Spider for making this connection. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So really, I kind of want to start with your history. You know, where you come from, how you got to being working with the police department. You know.
Okay. Okay. So, well, my father was in law enforcement, so I'm one of those that grew up want to be like, not like Mike, want to be like Pops, and
Yeah.
so I was fortunate enough to have my father in the household, and so that's always and still is been my hero. That's been the person I look up to. Of course, God is over everything, but for somebody that's on earth, my father is who I've always tried to emulate in life. Uh, so he was in law enforcement, and so that's what made me go ahead and be in the law enforcement. But the main reason why people know me is not so much for my days as a cop in Compton, California, and all of that. It's mainly just because of my days with Death Row. Suge Knight is somebody that we were childhood friends. Well, childhood associates, knew each other and all of that. Uh, Growing up, we played high school football together in Linwood High, which is a city, right, well, really about 2 or 3 blocks away from where we grew up at in the
I went there.
Mahaparu area.
I
Yeah,
went there my freshman year.
okay, okay. So you're a knight.
Golden Knight.
You know about
Ernest.
the knight,
Yeah,
Linwood Knight.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was a knight for sure.
So we played football together and stuff like that in 80. He's a year older than me, but we was from 82 to 84. However, we knew each other prior to that. We played little league football. Well, not football. I played Linwood and he played at Compton Northern. Uh, but we played at Kelly Park and sports. Just growing up in the neighborhood, child knew each other in the neighborhood. Uh, and then I went into law enforcement and became a cop and all that. But y'all know what he did. Y'all know his history with building Death Row with Dre and Snoop and all of them.
Yeah.
About
Right.
1994, 95, after the Snoop murder allegation or what he was accused of
Right.
happened and went down, that's when he reached out to me and said, Reggie, I need some legal security. And it goes a little deeper. It was, other reasons why he brought me in, but uh, that's just making the story short. And so about 94, I started just being the security guy. Mainly, to say me being Suge Knight bodyguard, that's crazy. It wasn't his bodyguard, because bodyguard usually can whoop you or bigger than you, right?
Right.
Right.
But
Right.
I was the guy that was with him, and so I was always with him. But mainly was for his artists; those were the ones that needed it, the bodyguard, and for his business entities, the studios and his office and stuff like that. So I was hire guys to supply security for them on the law enforcement side, because if you know anything about the trial where Snoop went through and all of that, it was mainly because you had a homeboy and not a professional that really cost them a lot of money and
Yeah.
really caused Snoop to get the charges, for possibly having, taking this freedom from me. And so they didn't want to go through that anymore. So they decided, they're making all this money, try to do it the legit way. And so there were some good things for it. And then there was some bad things that happened, from bringing in law enforcement and cops to work for them. And so did that.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but let me ask you this real quick while we talking about that part.
Okay.
Was it a big issue at that time that law enforcement was working with Death Row? Like, did the streets have a problem with it, or was it mainly okay?
I'm sure some of his street boys or homies had a problem with it because now their jobs is being reassigned. It's different. It's like different roles and stuff like that. Not saying they were depowered, but they wasn't to charge as much, and so you don't need as many of them. Then you're not as uh, dependent, I guess, for lack of a better word, on them
Right.
as much as you were. And so there was some grumblings, but fortunately, a lot of them knew me, grew up with them. Same history that I had with Suge, I had with them. And so they kind of accepted. I think if it was anybody else that might have had a little problem, it might have been accepted. But it was Reggie from the hood, Reggie that grew up with us, and whose father is, you know, real active in the city where they grew up in, and that they getting in trouble in, or like a better word. So they kind of
Right.
knew it, and my grandmother lived next door to the two of the main players, the McDonald's and all of them. So it was a lot of things that played into that to make that adjustment go smoothly. Uh, but yeah, as far as the law enforcement side, originally it was all good
Yeah.
until other agencies and other people start following around and start saying, "Hey, well, I thought, why these niggas ain't getting in trouble no more? Why we used to can get a gun or we can get this from off of 'em. Now they seem to be moving legit. Hey, why these cops around them? Hey,
Right.
hey, chief, get these guys away. We trying to get them. We trying to get them, and they not getting in as much trouble as they used to and stuff like that.
Let me
And so
ask you this,
you,
Reggie. From give us a time period of your service with the police department. From what years to what years?
okay, I was one of those that started a little earlier. I'm a little older than a lot older than probably you guys appear to be, but
I
I started
appreciate
working. I started working in 1985 in the jail as a civilian jailer. Uh, and so I was in the jail, but I was only 19 years old. Too much power, too much responsibility to have at such a young age.
it.
But I did that up until the age of 22. Then I became a cop. And then that's like in 1988, 1989. And then I worked on the streets of Compton up until 1996 is when I officially retired. But I did a year off on what like a disability because I messed up my ankle in a traffic accident about a year prior. So I really was off the streets in 1995. But I
That's
was mainly working and hanging with Death Row Tough on a daily basis at that time. So I knew I was on my way out.
I wanted to kind of the reason for them questions was kind of give people a background that may not know who Reggie Wright Jr. is.
Uh,
Uh, because with the recent events between Spider Loke
Hold on.
and
Don't
me.
go too fast. Don't go too
Okay,
fast.
go ahead, slow me down. Go ahead, Smokey, jump in.
So you mentioned the death row situation. At
Oh
what point?
yeah.
What was your first interaction with the late great Tupac Shakur?
ah, I was the one that brought him to the studio, picked him up from the airport. And so that would have been about October. He got out of jail October the 12th. So it was either the 12th or the 13th of 1995 will be my first interaction in the physical. Like you guys, like everybody else.
Okay.
I get around and and Temptation, the Me Against the World songs and all of that and
Right.
keep your head up and so I knew of all the music and the videos, but one on one or meeting and talking to him October of 1995.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were so you like according to the timeline you just gave, you were still technically on a police force at the time you met Tupac.
Correct.
That
Yes.
Okay.
aligns with the documentaries I've seen too, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay,
So,
okay.
what would you say is the biggest and dopest? I'm gonna let you cook here in a second, but what would you say is the biggest thing you kind of took from Tupac that you still kind of hold on till this day?
Okay. We was at a Brotherhood Crusades event. This guy by the name of Danny Bakewell, he have this organization in here called the Brotherhood
Mm-hmm.
uh, Crusade, and
Mm-hmm.
so we were there, and that was the one with we were talking about the three strike laws. Y'all might see where he was talking, and Danny Boy and Suge and all them was sitting
Yeah.
there, and so they were going against and trying to raise money for the three strike law, which was a law in California that was coming up where you get three strikes and then you have to do 25 years to life in prison. And so they were trying to go oppose it and raise money to oppose it. So of course they had a few gang members and community activists there and all of that. So they talked and had a big press conference talking about it and all of that. But then we went in a back room and he met with some of the gang leaders around, and they were talking about stuff. And everybody always have an idea when they meet somebody like Tupac or Suge where they want to shoot their shot. And so the gang members was telling them how they need to do this in the community and do this and do that. And Tupac was just like, hey, hold up. We got money, we doing okay, but we ain't got money like that. But what we need to do is, like when we go into a neighborhood, and I swear, it's like the officials from the NBA care, which y'all gonna see this weekend coming up. It's like they were listening. Say like when we go into a area, say like we go into Milwaukee or whatever in that city, we can't just give money out to the whole nation. Right. But when we go and do a concert in Milwaukee, then we go in that area, and then we take care of a school. We give stuff to the kids in that community and all of that. Where he was just trying to say, when you go, don't look at us to do stuff for the whole nation at one time. Just we can come when we come to your city to do stuff, to do a concert or do an event in your city, then that's when we should go out and reach out to the community and get with the local community leaders, like the parks and recreation or whatever the issue is in that community at that time. That's what he wanted to do and stuff like that. Of course, Snoop sold his idea about the football league and stuff like that, where rappers and people like that be over the commission or the teams in their area, the coaches or whatever in their area, and then play them against each other. Like MC Hammer will have one in Oakland, Snoop will have one in Long Beach, and then they would bring their teams together and and play football against each other. Snoop did that. I'm glad he did pick up the baton and run with it. But it was stuff like that Tupac was talking about in 95, 96.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Dopus. Go ahead, hit him with some questions.
All right. I did. I did. I was able to watch you on Compton Rick Rock earlier.
Okay. Shout out Compton Rick Rock.
Shout out to Compton Rick Rock.
Shout out Money. It's all love.
Yeah, Money, Nina Boy, and even Deuce Sims. And my boy Spider Local, of course. Okay. Everybody knows there.
We gonna get to that.
Did you say shout out to Money King Dopus?
I didn't. I don't even know who that
is. Show you I know a little bit about you. Show I know a little bit about you, but now I'm just if y'all know anything about Reggie, I like to talk a little shit. I like to talk a little shit. But go ahead.
Nah, it's all good. So okay, you said you got a chance to catch a little bit of Smokey and I's live from yesterday.
Yes, sir.
About the whole Nina Boy situation.
Yeah,
we spoke on Nina's behalf yesterday because I felt it was some, and I still do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I still
rightfully so.
Injustice is done. Let me say that.
Okay.
But a lot of the I watched back and I was reading the comments. I do read what y'all say, so make sure y'all drop a comment. A lot of it had to do with Deuce M's and Damu Kiwe conversations. Salute to them. There's no hate on him. He knows I come in there and support his channel as well. But the whole phone recording thing, what's your take and how do you feel about that recording being made? First of all, not what's on it, just the fact it was recorded.
Yeah, and I told him, if you really listen to anybody, go back and listen to Compton Rick Rock to his face. So it's not like I'm talking shit behind his back. I told him that was some whole shit. That was some police shit, doing that. I said, I don't get that us youngsters do that. And more importantly, then you hold it over my head. Because this is not a recording that was just done like people think, like a month, 2 weeks or whatever. This is something that was done a while ago. So you continue to communicate and be cool with me, but then when you get mad at me or I go against somebody with your card,
Yeah,
meaning a blood or a crip or whatever card,
right.
that I'm with, and then now you want to change up and go against me, and then play it or expose me because me and you not cool or we have a disagreement. Reggie Wright have an issue with.
Well, let me ask you this. Was this going on back then, like with a lot of the recordings? And this just ain't speaking towards the
Oh,
Deuce
recordings going
situation.
on every day now.
Yeah, like
Y'all think
I'm saying,
whenever
like
you're on the phone.
back when you was coming up, was
Oh
gangsters and
no, we
shit
didn't
like
have
that
all that
still?
shit. You had no number one. We used to use landlines mainly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
We barely had fucking phones. You had to be kind of having a little money in your
Hey,
pocket to have phones in the '90s.
I'm
Or
52.
or don't call me until after 7 or 9 o'clock. You remember
Hey,
those days?
look, I'm 52 years old, so I know you got
Okay.
me by a couple years, but trust
Yeah.
me, I realized we wasn't even dreaming of doing this stuff that we
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
nowadays. When you had
Yeah.
problems with somebody, you had to go
Mm,
you
Knock
had
on
to
their door or something. Yeah.
yeah, you had to really pull up. Oh man, my bad. Come on.
or spin that motherfucker to get that spin that damn phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, for real. Cleachy 93. Hold on, let me make you a mod real quick, man. You blessed alive yesterday. I look, I had a conversation with one of my G homies last night, and he was telling me, and then I'm just being real with y'all, man. Because okay, we understand how Reggie feels about the recording, right? Now it's more about what was said on the recording. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, it don't matter how he explained it because I did watch Spider Lope today. Make sure y'all go check out Spider Lope, Most Easty, and what he had to say. Because from looking at Spider Lope, man, I'm 52. I done seen a lot of things. I see a brother that's spiraling. Whether he gonna admit it or not, he did that video this morning. It was 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and he was already drinking. So nobody can sit here and tell me you making good decisions under the influence of alcohol and or whatever else, right?
Well, okay, but was it dropped in or was it alive?
It was alive.
It was alive.
He went live this morning, and somebody said something about sober up. He said to everybody that says I need to get sober, he said F you and finished the
Yeah.
rest of the bottle.
Okay.
Uh
Well, we all got issues, and we go through our peaks and valleys, and so he may be going through that. Y'all got
yeah,
to
that's
remember
what
a lot of
that's
this
the
shit.
point I'm making.
Yeah, I got you,
It's
and I
not to
get you.
shame him. I'm
But I
saying
just
I
want to say all of this
wouldn't
stuff
want to
was
be a part of
done
kicking him when he down.
over a year or two ago, if not even longer. All this shit is old news.
Mhm.
Uh, as far as passing it to me, whatever. I have personally known at the time they were that was his enemy. I mean, we could be from the same hood, he was from the same hood, but they hated each other. And
Right.
y'all gotta remember, me and Spider, I ain't like I'm just a police officer riding down the street or whatever. I've been knowing Spider, I've been fucking with Spider for over 25 years. I done
Mhm.
been in the situations with Spider. I done put money in Spider pocket, as far, well, not from me personally, but from the label, from Suge and Death Row and all of that. And so
Yeah.
me and him have allegiance that goes past. Everybody wants to say that police shit, police. Okay, yeah, I had that history, but I got another history as well. And
Right. Right.
I fuck with it. Ain't nobody on the internet that y'all can name. I probably it's BJ Cappuccino and this new dude, this Forte or Four Extra dude. About the
Mhm.
only two niggas that I can honestly say on YouTube and Brick Baby, but I ain't even talked to Brick Baby before. That I
Mhm.
can say, other than that, I done communicated with everybody else. Anybody else that's got a social, I mean, a major presence on the internet,
Right.
It was on one day that had a conversation with Reggie. So everybody always want to throw that police talking to the police, and all that. I get the part about they from the same East Coast, but he said they had issues at the time. They wasn't fucking with each other at the time. They were almost pretty much was enemies within the set. And so he passed some information to a nigga that he had fucked with, that he had a 25-year history with. And but it never came out. He even eventually got it together where I thought it was him. Nino said it wasn't. Nina said it wasn't him. I don't look at Nina as a liar. And I kind of actually like Nina boy, if you want to keep it real, after just the interactions and hearing him talk and stuff like that. But uh, uh, we got it squashed. Spider
Right.
was a part of keeping it squashed and all of that. I like Deuce Hill, but I fault Deuce Hill for doing this taping bullshit that he does daily. And I'm disappointed in him for exposing something. And I said it once, but I said it again. I'm like Charles Barkley, where he say you say shit twice so people can really hear you and
Right.
understand you. When you do something, if after me and you get off this interview and you call whoever and say, man, nigga Red said this about you or whatever. But don't take and hold something I said about somebody, and then when you get mad at me, yeah, this is what that punk motherfucker said about you on my show or when we was talking in private.
Right. But
People expose it then.
don't you feel like Spider did the same thing to Munchie though?
I don't know. It's just I haven't been following that. I ain't been following
Oh,
that.
I mean, cause yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but I mean they
well,
doing
you
it.
know what? I'm lying.
I
I
don't think
did
none of
hear
it's
him say
right.
something about. I heard him say something about in casual conversation. I think, or maybe he even told me where he said, "Stay out my daughter DM." You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that be stuff that be bothering you. You be thinking about how long I'm gonna confront my son. It ain't like she's a kid. She's
yeah,
21, 24, or whatever. But sometimes when you know about the worst thing you can have is one of your homeboys messing with one of your with one because you know everything about him. You done seen that nigga in the strip clubs doing somebody raw. You done heard all the dirt on him and all of that. You generally don't want. We used to have when we was growing up. That was called a hood rat. When you mess with a chick from your hood, that's what the
Right.
real term of a hood rat mean. They done took it to another level, but chicks didn't want to be hood rats back then. That means somebody that everybody in the neighborhood is messing around with, and so you generally didn't want your homeboys messing with your sisters and stuff like that. So I can imagine how it is about your daughters. And I think that's what they got caught up in. That he knew too much about Munchie B, where he didn't want Munchie B hitting on his daughter because he didn't like his get down with females.
Well, let me say this because I don't want to make this a whole live about that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I kind of
Okay.
wanted to get into you. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because this is my first time even ever speaking to you, so I kind of wanted to get a lot of your history out. But so while we on this topic, I want to kind of get it out the way so we can get
Okay.
back into more about your history. But I'll just say this, touching on that topic. I said this from day one. I fuck with Deuce. Me and Spider mended our relationship. I fuck with a lot of people. But if a nigga record me on the phone, we done. We done, bro.
Yeah.
We done. I'm just saying that. And that's just me as a man. That's just how I feel as a man and what my principles is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what Spider said ain't right. It's not right. What he did ain't right. And I'm pretty sure he knows that.
Which part, the Munchie B part, or
Just
passing the
kind of
girl number to me, or passing the girl
I
to me?
understand what he means by in war there's no rules, but I'm just saying, like, with that being your homie, I feel like it could have been done differently. You
See,
know what
that's
I
where
mean?
we get it wrong. They're not homies. They're associates from the same area.
Right.
They just became homies. Spider, I tell you, prior to that, my friends knew not to bring up his name to me. These are two niggas that done had a fist fight before. Usually after a fist fight, that's usually when it is be all good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when it was. But they wasn't like apparently Smokey and King Dopus is,
I mean, yeah, I
They
got a
wasn't
lot
like
of
that.
information about that, but I ain't gonna say much on it. But I know a lot more about that
Okay.
relationship, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak to it.
But And what he have always expressed to me is when you go online accusing me of a being involved in somebody, demise. Okay, I'll say that word. And this is somebody that I like, didn't like, or whatever. But you go online and accuse me of that, then now there's war.
Right.
And we gotta niggas say they don't do tit for tat. Man,
Hey, when you
niggas
going
do
after
tit for
somebody,
tat.
everything's on the table.
Is everything on the table. And it wasn't like he called me and said, "Hey, Reg, that nigga Nino boy got this out here. Do this." I called him as a homie.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what you got on that nigga? Where that nigga? You want to keep it real? Where that nigga live?
Yeah.
It's what
Right.
where that nigga from? Where he at? Well,
Right.
Let me say this real quick. Y'all make sure y'all go like up the Smokey Show. Hit him with a subscription. I see I got some people in here. I just want to say this. I thought, and you being from here, you working as an officer, you being around gang members, you've been around legendary ones, Buntries, the Herons, the Neckbone. You've been around some legendary names, right? Isn't that in-house business though? Even though you asked for info on him, should he have given it to you? Because they not from the same
depending on my relationship with you, I just tried to express he felt like their relationship wasn't there. I believe it got there in the last 2 years after that shit happened.
Yeah.
But at the time, they wasn't there. According to Spider, I don't know. I'm just going based on what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that's my only. I'm not a part of that gang. I'm a non-affiliate, so I'm trying to get an understanding. And I talk to, I talk to some reputable dudes on a daily. I got some of the homies from the neighborhood up in my live right now. We push peace over here on Dopest TV. I don't want nothing to come of this. But at the same
And that's
time,
if you listen to me talking to Nino on Compton Rick Rock, I kept trying to explain that hey dog, this old shit that a blood nigga, and I trust me, I love both sides. I done been in trouble with Crips. I done fuck with blood. I don't have no leniency.
Spider called you a Pyru this morning.
That's his opinion on that, but that's where I grew up with. So of course I'm gonna lean a little closer to that because that's where those are niggas I grew up with.
Right.
But I don't claim that. I would never claim that or anything like that. I got indicted with Gray Streets. I went to the feds behind Gray Street. But anyway, but my whole point was, damn, you done fucked me up with that. Damn, I really forgot what my train of thought. What was I about to say? All right, we'll go to something else. But my whole point is that they wasn't like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You all right? So I kind of want to bounce back a little bit. You had before we got on that topic, you had said something about the death row and knowing Suge and Tupac and all that. At what point after you when death row? Okay, let me ask you this way. At what point did you realize death row was over? Was it when Tupac died, or did you see it coming before that?
Yeah, actually, we catch a bad rap because most people don't know. After Suge went to jail, he was the one he kind of leaned on. I was the one he kind of leaned on to deal with the day-to-day operations all the way up until 2002. Okay, now as far as presence and all of that in the industry and videos and being like Tupac, Suge, and Snoop and them out there, there was no presence like that. But if you go down and break the amount of record sales and the and the debts that were taken care of from 97 to 2002, everything got cleaned up. So the company didn't fall and wasn't dead until the bankruptcy came in 2006, 2007, because what he still had was a free and clear catalog that he owned outright, the masters and everything too. Suge Knight could have never put out another album or anything, and this is before streamings. This is
Mm.
before streaming, and his catalog was generating anywhere from $6 million to $8 million a year in the early 2000s. And so, no, I wouldn't call it dead. He could have. He should have shut it down. He should have just shut it down and just lived off, the money from the catalog. But
Right.
Mm.
he decided not to do that. So I wouldn't call it dead at that point. But once he got that judgment and all of that, he had to file bankruptcy, and that's when it went what quote unquote called dead. But
So
no,
would would you say, or let me ask you this: at what
because
point
his
after?
music time, think about it. That All Eyes on Me album, Machiavelli album, Doggy Style album, Chronic album, just those 4 albums alone. Don't let me throw in the Dog Pound,
Yeah,
and Murder Was the Case. That's 6 albums. Above the Rim, that's 7 albums right there that still today, still
Then
somebody
you
bump.
started.
that's
You
crazy.
know, and we haven't even got into ringtones yet, or
Streaming.
streaming.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
So
paying
no,
for
I
the
wouldn't have called it dead.
ringtones. Yeah, I was paying for them ringtones back in the day for sure.
Exactly. And
Well,
one thing
let
that
me
he never did that Snoop is doing currently today is the merchandising.
yep.
He never should believe in giving away the T-shirts and the stuff. He
Mm.
never tried to push selling merchandise or that Death Row logo. But just think if he would have did that.
Well, let me
Right.
ask you this: do you feel like Suge was ahead of his time, or do you feel like Suge was right on time?
I believe he was the innovator of a lot of things. People wasn't talking about owning their own masters. People wasn't talking about the label. Tell me, back in the day, tell me right quick. EPMD, what label were they on? What what what,
EPMD.
what label? What label was? Yeah, you gotta look it up. We thank God for Google. But my whole point is, but you knew Snoop Dogg, Tupac,
Yeah.
the Dog Pound. You knew about Death Row. So people then start talking about Murder Inc. and Def Jam and all of that until Suge had his artists pushing the label and all that. You might have knew. Some people may say, "Well, we knew about the Ghetto Boys was on Lil J album or Ghetto."
What's they called?
I
Ghetto
can't
Boys.
even think of the name of their label now,
Rap a
but I
lot.
know it. Rap a lot.
Yeah.
We heard about Rap a lot and all of that, but tell me another artist that was on it at the time. You didn't know about it, but you
Scarface.
knew. But that it was Ghetto
Ghetto.
Boys, really.
Oh yeah, Ghetto Boy.
He
Yeah, but
broke away
they was
later.
still signed to Jay Prince, right?
That was Jay Prince. Yeah, Rap a lot.
The
My
only
whole point is,
comparison you can make is
I
probably
was just trying to say about
record.
the innovation part of how
Yeah,
Sugar had people talking about labels and wearing chains with your label on there and stuff like that.
yeah,
Versus,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if I asked you what label Quick was on right now, you couldn't have told me. Y'all would tell me Priority or some shit.
Yeah, I don't even know
Not
either.
knowing that he was on the label with Ron DMC. That's another one. I go and ask y'all Profile Records for those of y'all care. But tell me what label that Ron DMC was on. Y'all would have said, "Oh, Def Jam. I know that. He was with Russell and Def Jam." No,
Mm.
it was on Profile Records.
Right, right, right.
So this stuff like that is when you ask about innovation, high budget videos. Who have did anything? Well, Michael Jackson did Thriller. Michael Jackson did Thriller. But other
Mhm.
than Michael, but then who had did videos like Suge did? Well,
Nobody I know of.
that murder
And,
was the case. That
and
murder was the case
California
video.
Love, California Love.
California Love.
That was
Oh
off the
yeah.
Mad Max
So,
from Thunderdome joint. That was fire.
so that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the innovation part on Suge part.
Okay, okay.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. When Death Row ended, because you hear the stories about Reggie Wright. He been involved in the streets and shit the whole time he's with Death Row, and even after. Once Death Row shut down, Suge went to prison. At what point did you indulge in the going full-fledged into the street shit? Because to me, you damn near got to be full-fledged in the street shit to get a fucking federal indictment on selling some drugs.
Okay. So let's do the time tier. I left Death Row. Suge came home in 2002, right? And then Suge came home in 2002. I left and did this group called the Relatives, Big Y and Sugar Booger at another music company. and I don't want to put them out. And so I left there. But then I stopped working there in 2004. And then I started working at E1 Entertainment and all of that. But I didn't get in California. They had marijuana dispensaries that started up. I know everybody know about them now, but in 2012 is when I started indulging in that. That was legal as a motherfucker in the state. However, the different cities had an issue with it. And so they would become, so that's why y'all used to go to dispensaries and all of that. Then they'd be like, damn, that motherfucker shut down. That motherfucker shut down. Because they were just shutting them down like crazy. But that's when but I'm having all this connect because I'll be honest, I had the good stuff. I was the one with, I had none of that outdoor shit, the shit that our Mexican brothers know. I had the shit that the white boys and the Asians and all of them were growing, the indoor. And I was bringing it to the ghettos because I had the dispensaries, but they kept shutting them down. And then I got stupid and got caught up with letting this shit go across state lines. And that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing that ever happened. As long as I would have kept my ass in California and doing what I was doing, I'd be still good as as anyone. But the greed part kicked in, the stupidity part kicked in, and let them start going across state lines, and that's why I got in trouble. And I don't even think they would have gotten on my guys, but the guys I was dealing with were gang members. And you know what gang members like? What gang members like? They like guns. And especially when you got gang members they're going into other states, then they start realizing, hey, we don't have that 10-day law and all that background checking for guns and stuff like that out of state. You can just go out of state and go to Walmart and buy a gun in the store and ship that shit back, home, and you good. Where in California, the gun laws is a little more stricter. And that's the real reason that they got on us. Because the guys I was dealing with was mainly making money, doing good, but they were shipping guns from Memphis back to California.
Right.
So it's kind of along the lines with the Tupac situation. What's your thoughts on the Keefe D?
Keefe D told on himself. He put himself in his own situation. All right. Okay. I'm kind of having mixed feelings now. I just want this to be where Keefe D just tell the truth. So all the conspiracies and people with all of these, he's alive. This person did it. All of this shit can just be put to rest. Right. Where it just come out and it's played out. I hope they play this shit on TV every day or on YouTube or wherever where people can actually see it. And so people can stop having all of these different opinions. And he stopped playing games. Suge Knight stopped playing games with it, with what he says. And then the truth comes out. And then this man can finally, or at least the reason or how he died can finally be put to rest. And that's the only thing that I want for Keefe D. If all of this happened and Keefe D get time served, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
That's between him and God and the judicial system, what happens to him. Well, I just want the truth. That's the only outcome that I want. And so people can see the truth. I believe I know the truth. I believe I see the truth. But I want the people to know, the community to know, the people that really do supposedly love Tupac to know.
Okay. Let me respond to this comment real quick. Asking Reg what he thinks about Keefe D shows you must don't follow Bomb First. I actually do follow Bomb First, but I'm asking questions that maybe my audience does not know. It ain't about me. I know the answers to a lot of these questions already. This is information for my audience to consume.
Respect to the person from Bomb First is over here following us. Shout out. Hopefully you're a supporter.
Make sure y'all go subscribe to Reggie's channel ASAP. All the people that rock with me. So you gotta understand.
Also, anybody, I got a book out. My first book came out February the 1st, but is this really to help people that's trying to get in the music business? It's just the pitfalls, all the mistakes that I learned and dealt with, and all the things that I learned that was positive, negative, is in that book. It's about 70, 80 pages on Amazon. It's called Confessions of a label boss. I mean, that's a name. I wouldn't call myself a label boss, but that's a name they came up with. And if y'all can go pick it up on Amazon, I appreciate it. My little shout out for today.
Yeah, let me get that straight because I've been watching Reggie Wright Jr. for years, over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Easy. I'm talking about on the YouTube. I've known about Reggie Wright way before that. But I'm talking about like on YouTube. I watched the show that he had with Mob James and them, and
The
I've
Gangsta
been
Chronicles.
following.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching all of that. So I'm just asking these general questions for the
And
audience.
I,
You know,
and
that's
I
all.
respect it and I understand it. I understand it. So
Yeah.
So
shout
what
out.
would you say? What would you say is the biggest thing you took away from the death row days that you kind of try to watch out for now, or try to implement with what you do now?
Well, not what I'm doing now because I'm not in the music business currently right now like that. But I think I'll answer this question. What was the biggest mistake that I believe Death Row made and that we didn't do? I'll take that. And that was simply a royalty department. Uh, Understanding where people can know that profit and loss statement, that sheet. Every month I'll be like, when I go and look at my bank statement, I'll be like, God damn, I didn't spend that much money. And then when I go and count it and then to see everything, I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. That's true. I understand how people can lose track or think they have more in the bank or made more than what they did or what they actually did. And so I believe putting stuff in black and white was our biggest mistake. Suge's biggest mistake as the boss or the label, chief executive, by not having a proper royalty department so people can know where they actually stood. Because I really believe that most of these people, of all these people that believe they were cheated and they were robbed and all of this, I really believe that they were all overpaid.
Yeah.
We talking about people that, and mainly the ones that complain are people that household names everybody know. They ain't never put out an album.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what would you say was Suge's biggest mistake?
Well, that the royalty department. I wouldn't say most people would want me to say the interacting with the gang members and all that. I'm not. You're not gonna get me to say that because I believe that's what made their hype even more.
Yeah.
That mystique around them and all of that of the
Mystique.
homies and how they move and stuff like that. I really believe that's what played into the hype that separated him from a regular label to the label that he was. But that's what the answer that most people will want you to say, having all those homeboys and gang members and all of that around. But you
Going to
won't get that
Vegas.
from Reggie Wright. You won't get that
Yeah.
from Reggie Wright.
No,
Somebody said
I
going
can
to
see that, man.
Vegas
I can
is the
see that.
worst.
And one
Well,
thing
going to Vegas, yeah. But if you don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in the Bible, you can say that. But if you believe in the Bible, don't the Bible tell us that all our days are written in stone? We knew we was gonna
Yeah.
die that day.
I always say that when people talk about this, like, uh, when people on the internet with all these threats and whatnot, oh, you say this, I say, man, whatever happens is God's will. That's how it was intended to be. So
Exactly.
I don't
He
let that.
he said before we came out of the womb, he knew it was gonna happen. He
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
that Tupac was gonna die like that, according to the Bible. I know a lot of
yeah.
people don't agree and don't, and so or have different opinions, different interpretations. But the one I don't mean to bring this to your channel because I know politics and sexual
Nah,
orientation
yeah,
and the Bible is bad subjects to talk about. I try to stay away from them,
yeah.
but that's just my belief, y'all.
Nah,
hey, real quick, Dopus, let me ask him this, and I'm gonna let you get a couple questions in.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
You so not to put any like weird energy out there or make it funny, but when you think of Tupac and you think of Nipsey, whose impact do you feel like hit the West Coast the hardest?
Well, no disrespect to the great Nip. We talk about Tupac every day.
Yeah.
After Nip death, How often do we really talk about Nip? The latest thing I've been hearing on the internet about Nip was about a sex tape.
Well, majority of the things I hear now is about the conspiracy of his death. It's majority of that now is what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. My whole point is, I think Nip had longer. He had 33 years. He had a great impact. I think I honestly believe it was regional, uh, where Tupac was a little bit more international. But that's my take. I may be a little prejudiced towards it, but I don't think there's any comparison in my opinion. But
We
no
got
Community,
disrespect to what he did. No
community wise,
disrespect. Huh?
community wise, community wise.
Yes. Yes. Community wise, he did a lot more. He lived in a different era, but he was very more impact for especially his community.
Yeah,
He stayed true to his community. Tupac was he was different in that way because you got about five different states that will fight you down and tell you he was from their community. New York will fight you down and argue he was born here. Baltimore, he went to school here. Marine City or the Bay will be like, he was out here. And then of course the mob will be, he was claiming East Side. He was in East Piru at time of his death.
all
So
right.
my point is, Nip benefit was he was just a 60. He was from over there, Crenshaw and Slauson. And so community wise, he was doing more for his community than Tupac did, yes.
Yeah. Uh, let me get to some of the and I appreciate you also true for asking questions. We want y'all to ask questions as well while we got Reggie up here. Also true said ask Reg, what exactly did the girl say about Nina when he interviewed her? When you interviewed her.
Yeah, um,
if you want to speak on it, if you want to speak on
yeah, I kind of, all the respect in there. It's something about Nino I like. I mean, she made the allegations, but and like I
Yeah,
told, and like I just said, there's more to the story. Let's put it that way. It
yeah,
wasn't your typical type of situation that you would think where you would want to look down on him.
yeah.
Think of a daybreak situation. I'll just say
it.
that's the worst I want to
Okay.
put in.
The only reason I even, to be honest, asked because Spider Loc doubled down on them allegations this morning.
Well, the girl made the allegations. Do that make it true? I
No,
mean,
not every time, but that's not to call her a liar either. I don't want to call nobody who says they're a victim.
and I
Yeah, and then like you said,
and I'm
that's
not
where it
saying that
get
at all.
tricky.
I
It
am
get
not.
tricky. It
I'm
get
just saying
tricky.
there's more to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I respect that.
Yeah, but
No,
I
I
by
definitely.
no means am I bashing any victims or anything like that. No.
So
So
okay.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
though.
Smoke. No,
No, go
no.
ahead.
All right.
Well,
So I just want to follow up because when you asked him for some dirt on Nina and he gave you that, did you think like, damn, this was more than I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I
I
was
was ready. I was hungry. I was shit. You get it on the phone. What? It took me,
Reggie
baby.
ain't
When can we
shit,
talk?
man. Reggie, you ain't shit. That nigga
No,
stole Reggie.
no. I ain't thought nothing about it. No. Thank you.
that's
Good looking,
crazy.
homie.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I,
Well,
I
I
guess
mean,
it.
honestly,
I guess when y'all up with a nigga, it's really up. I'm
I
not
was
yeah,
finna
up.
get into it
Yeah,
with
I
Red.
mean, this.
Reg and Spider Loc, hey, I ain't getting into it with y'all like that. Making of a Man TV said, ask Reg how he felt about Jim Jones pulling up in Gonzalez Park.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's cool. Anybody can do that. If you don't know, you ain't making no press announcements and all of that. Anybody can pull up. I can
Fly
pull up
too.
on.
Yeah.
I can pull up. Wacko is cool. Wacko ain't the shot caller like they put it out over there. I ain't gonna disrespect Wacko. He was my partner. He was my boy Big Y's partner. They don't want to put out the song with
Rest in peace, Big Whoa.
do yeah with the do the Dougie and all of that. And I have major love for Big Y and all of that. But there's other reputables from the West Side over there. but Wacko is from there as well, you know. But uh,
Hey, y'all know
well,
I
let me.
love the chat, y'all. I love the
Oh, hold on,
chat.
hold on,
Go
hold on, hold
ahead.
on,
I
chat.
got
Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat.
yeah,
Hold
we
on,
got
chat.
you,
We're gonna
chat.
get to you in a second, I promise. But I
Yeah,
just
go
want to
ahead.
get some things cleared, and we're gonna end it out with the chats questions. But
Got
with everything that's been going on lately and all these allegations on people being police and doing police shit, you don't have to name names. But when we look around the YouTube hemisphere or just on this entertainment place, is there anybody out here now that is putting on a portrayal of something and it's really something else as far as motherfucker working with the police?
not to my knowledge, but I think anybody get in a box,
Yeah,
anybody get in a box, you don't know what's gonna come out of their mouth.
you.
especially when they start throwing.
Anybody.
Yeah.
It's all about the situation, what you got, and who could it affect. Ain't none of us immune. A lot of us talk that as we learned from the little meat situation and all of that. And I'm not saying it's true or not, but we all got smut, can get smut, have been smut. There's very few of us that don't stay tall. It's
Yeah,
some, it's some, but
Well,
it's not as many as y'all think. And as I just said in a show, I don't know where earlier, motherfuckers don't care no more about this snitching stuff.
they don't. They don't.
It's
yeah, that's
gone.
over.
We kind of glorify them. The best thing that I done saw recently, if it's true and the reason why, and I don't want no beef with the BMF dudes and all of that.
Oh, big
But
me.
them canceling that motherfucking concert yesterday, if that's the reason niggas wasn't showing because of the allegations, then shout out you young motherfuckers under 30 or 40 years old that would be going to the concert. Cause I never
Right.
thought that would have affected any of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But because I done
Nah, they
seen how
would.
y'all that made Little Woody popular. I done seen how y'all done made 6ix9ine still relevant.
Man,
Okay,
every hood got people that got paperwork and they walking
Yeah,
around.
and a lot of them
You know what I'm saying?
selective on who put it
and
out.
what people got to learn about, and that's the one thing I did learn from this Nino situation and Spider situation is your hood got to discipline you. It's
Yeah,
not for other people. It's not for
Yeah, and that's what
mother.
I've been saying. It should have been all in house from the jump to me.
Well, once it get out, but that's the only way it gets out. But
Yeah,
now it's for them to deal with over there. All the other YouTubers and
don't
me
matter.
and all that, fuck us.
Exactly.
That's
That's
the
at
true.
East
the end
Coast.
that we don't matter to compare to what they got to live through on a daily basis. And I think people forget that they want their opinion to be heard so bad and they 2 cents put in on it. But at the end of the day, these brothers living real life, all of them.
Correct.
They all got to
Well,
answer to something because they represent
Yeah.
something that's bigger than them, which is what they broadcast all the time. They say that C is bigger than everybody or that B is bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I just feel like I just wish people could start actually representing it that way. Which, when I say that, I mean like stop bringing all this shit to the internet.
yeah, to me that's
Yeah,
God.
but that's we in 2025. We got to remember where we at and all
Whole
of
new
that.
era.
And so we're in a different era. But once they get there, and then now they got it,
Yeah.
then they deal with it.
You know
Right.
what this remind me of, and you could probably relate to this, Reg. This remind me of when like gangster rap like really took off, and it went from just being on wax to like people dissing each other and
Actually,
having
yeah,
actual issues in the street.
yeah,
Come to mind off top is DJ Quick and the
Yeah.
MC8. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah.
little run
Oh,
in.
more shortly, Death Row with Easy in now with
Yeah, yeah, with
yeah,
Ruthless. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Rufus.
Facts. But that's what this YouTube sound like. And to me, because since I've been involved, you get attached to all the different individuals and they try
Yeah,
to maybe knowingly or unknowingly, they try to get you to push their agenda on your channel. And it's
yeah,
almost like you become a group, you know what I'm saying? And y'all all
yeah,
got the same I don't want I'm not in that, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm
And let me
just
just say this, and I shitted on Deuce a little bit earlier, maybe said something, but in fairness to Deuce, if he would have put this out immediately, then I wouldn't have no issues with it. It's just once you get mad at me, or once you did, or you take it, or if it's a gang thing, then okay, because Munchie B is a blood, and Deuce is a blood. If that's why you did it, then that's what they. But now just because now me and you ain't cool no more, and you want to do me wrong, I just got a problem with that. And I'm one of those. What's the message? N- You know, or what's the messenger? What's the reason for this messenger? And not so much the message. That's all I am. And so
Yeah.
that's all. My whole thing is this is something that was discussed, known about months ago.
I heard
So
you
why
say
July?
that
Why
he.
July? I mean, why February the 12th, February 13th? What makes it come out now?
I heard you say that to Nina Boy. I kind of want to ask you that. We're gonna ask you a couple more questions and then we'll get to the chat. But I heard you mention that to Nina Boy that he knew of this a while back. So what were you getting at when you said that? Because it sounded like y'all had a differences of opinion when you said that.
Uh, well, the only difference of opinion was I thought, and I'm more than sure, but not 100%, that he and I had a conversation. He said it was between me and Alex Alonso that was from Street Team. He was the one brokering it, where, all right, y'all, this shit gonna get serious. Y'all shouldn't be beefing it at each other. And I've been on that tip. I've been trying to not have so many YouTube beefs. You
Yeah.
know, there's other people out there, bigger than dudes from the LA area and all of that I shouldn't be beefing with. I I got issues with people like Snitch No Joke and the groupie and all of those niggas like that
You talking about
that.
joke, no joke?
Yeah, I know him as Snitch No Joke, but you call him whatever you call him.
Also, yeah. So
I got issues like that. People like that. You know, and so I was like, man, I ain't got no problems with the LA dudes and all of that stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and I'm the type of dude. If somebody reach out to me and be like, hey, bro, I don't want this beef, then
Right,
okay, we good. And
right.
that's how it went. Nino Boy kind of alluded to it, and he agreed with me that hey, Reg, we ain't got no beef. We squashed it. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but my whole thing is, I had informed him, or I'll say Alex, just for the sake of argument, that I had it and I'm about to put it out,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what's about to come out. But then we came to some type of agreement where I elected not to put it out.
Go ahead,
I,
dope. It's hitting
I,
you.
I, I'm just under the
And
assumption.
I did mention it. I didn't bring this up.
Yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
yeah,
remember.
that's the
This
cold
does
part.
not come from Reggie
Yeah,
Wright.
that's the
Reggie been
cold
holding
part.
on this shit. Reggie still ain't put it out. This would be great content for me on Bomb First right now, and I go and play this shit. But I'm not trying to hold off of it. I gave the brother my word. I wasn't gonna put it out, so I'm not.
Right.
Yeah,
Now he go on his channel talking shit, calling me a lie. Well,
I don't know. I'm just being honest. Maybe there is a connection. I just didn't understand where Deuce Sims had anything to do with the Munchie B and Spider or the Spider
and
and
that's why I
Nina
threw up the
Boy.
blood thing.
The
Yeah,
That's
Donald
why I
it's like
insinuated
it's
that.
just like he interjected himself.
Man, it was all about content. And that's
Yeah,
why I said, but how you gonna turn on me? You know, he says because of the Munchie B thing. I'm just like, nigga, you just wanted some content. You wanted a reason to turn on Spider. That's
Munchie
why
B
you did
been
it.
handling this. He been taking care of that on his own. Like his content been he doing his thing. Salute to Munchie B the mayor and his channel over there. Uh
And shout
Nigga
out Munchie
love
B.
some
I ain't got no issues with Munchie B. Been down that road, and we got it squashed.
Yeah,
Hey,
I heard a little bit of y'all conversation today.
let me
Yeah.
ask you this, Reggie, because this right here has been one of the biggest topics on YouTube. I'm not gonna ask you something to smut whack out, but I'm gonna ask you this in a different way. What is the biggest when people bring up the CS2 thing or get to calling whack a rat and all that shit? Where do you separate from that? Because it seems like to me you come with insight on it, like you know a little bit more than maybe everybody else.
Well, only reason is because I talked to the two cops that's alleged in it, and they both adamantly denied. I brought him on Clubhouse, Cadings, and he adamantly denied that he wasn't the one.
Right.
How can I say different? Those will be my informants or my source, and they deny it.
But if
they have never lied, they have never lied to me about other people. So why are they lying to me about them? That's my only defense.
But let me
other
ask
than
you,
that,
there go Deuce-Sin.
If he was a confidential source, wouldn't it be illegal? Now, I'm not saying he is, whatever. I'm just asking you for the sake of the conversation. If he was one, wouldn't it be illegal to reveal that information anyway?
Not for me, because I'm not active. I'm not law enforcement.
Right.
So not for me. But my whole thing is my relationship with them, those two cops, they have before told me that they were. They have before, told me. So that's my whole thing. That's my only thing. But as I had, expressed to Deuce Sims before, I told him the only concerns that I ever had to make me question, to go to them and ask why about that was the conversation of the movie where they put in the movie, they changed his name to something else. And so that's what made me go and ask Katie's.
So you got
and
curious.
The other cop, and they told me no. They said he is not that. That's not what he did. That is not who it is. And so that's the only way I can defend him. Other than that, I can't. I mean, if they lied to me, then they lied to me.
You basically saying you can only say what you know. Like
that's all. What they told me. What they told me. And these are friends of mine. I am not ashamed to say that Greg Hades and this other police officer are I wouldn't call Greg Hades. I would call the other one a friend. I would call Greg Hades associate. Friend is a big word. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay. When we gonna stay and then we can move on, I guess, if you want to, Smokey. But I really, because we got Deuce Sims in here. He's speaking in the comments.
Tell Deuce, send him the link. I tell you, I have no problems with Deuce Sims. I hope he don't take offense to anything I say, but he knows anything that I have said, he and I done talked about privately. But Deuce Sims and Nino Boy, two people that I kind of, don't know personally like that, but I kind of like them. I don't have no issues with them. So, and they know I'm cool with Whack. Whack hate that I'm cool with them, but hey, I'm one of those type of dudes. You can't tell me who to be. I'm like Little Meech, I guess is. Little Meech say you can't tell me who to be friends with, Rick or 50.
Yeah. I'm just listening, about to get dressed, got a dinner there. Okay, I appreciate it, Deuce.
Yeah, I sent him the wrong thing. I thought I sent him the link. I accidentally sent him the motherfucking video. I was fucking up. My bad.
Stay ready. Shout out to my boy Eddie Boy in the comments. Salute to Eddie.
At this point, I want to give the chat a couple chances to ask a couple questions. Let's try to keep it. You ask what you want, but I'm not asking no dumb shit. You know what I mean? I still got.
Okay, I'm transparent, so I can handle it. Reggie Wright, a big boy.
So
yeah, go ahead, Smokey.
No, go ahead. I was just finna say something about the comment, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I feel like you know what's crazy? I don't really believe in Black History Month because I always tell y'all we make Black history every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And but it's just this the wildest because you got all the people that's incarcerated, they got cell phones and they got their own thing they bring into the internet from the street sector and the gangs and all that. It just seemed like this certain sector of YouTube is just getting too wild instead of like.
Think of what is educating us on dope and stuff. Think of what this opening our eyes to.
Yeah.
Is be careful to what you say on phones, and if you do, be able to say what you say once, be able to say it twice.
I told Smokey that. I said, man, every time you get on the phone, expect to be that you being. I mean, I got people from my generation I grew up with. I trust, 12 Sinatra
Yeah,
Cash, and then I know we didn't grow up like that, so I know that's not even like a thing that they doing. You know what I'm saying? My homeboys. But when you dealing with other content creators, or or
yeah.
let me say this. I
And
talked
let
to
me
the
say this. I
OG
won't cut you
homie.
off real quick because I
Yeah,
think I
go
need
ahead,
to
go
say
ahead.
this.
Yeah,
I did hear what Deuce M's because I don't want to keep shitting on him like that. What he did say, and it may kind of made me think when he said it. He said he started taping calls to protect himself, and I'm not trying to justify it. I'm not saying it's true or not, but that's what his statement is. So we got to respect that too, though.
yeah, I
Yeah,
get that. Cover your
yeah,
own ass, right?
yeah.
That's what he
Um,
told me too.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if that's what it is nowadays, don't say nothing that you ain't willing for everybody to know. I guess. I mean, I really don't know what to say, but when you
Plus,
I
dealing with
always
this,
assume everybody I'm talking to is taping me, and that's
yeah,
why I say I know you. I tell you, I know you're a bitch ass taping me. He tell it. Ask too every time I say I know you taping me right now, but I don't give a fuck because whatever I say once, I can say twice. I tell you.
yeah.
because
I mean, it's
yesterday we covered this content. I didn't want to even talk about the Deuce Sims angle. We was talking about what was said on the actual audio. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get he was recording and all that mixed up. So we
Yeah,
tried to, but I understand. Me honestly, I understand both sides. I understand the need to cover yourself, but I'm still like an old school dude, man. I just can't find myself
yeah.
pressing the button. That's just me. But again, Dude Sim said he wasn't actually the one that recorded it. It was whoever else was on the phone.
But let's be
I,
real though. See, my whole issue with this recording thing has always been, and this ain't just speaking on the dude situation. It's just the temperature of the climate we in with this YouTube space. When did we get so comfortable saying if you said it once, you can say it twice? Like, when did we get so comfortable to even hit record though? Like, who the fuck invented that? And me personally, I blame 50. I blame 50, bro, because when he recorded Buck, that set off a tailspin and shit.
it been going all over before that, but yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, you can go to jail for that too in some states. Just want
Yeah.
y'all to know that.
I think
Or you can
California
be,
one of them, ain't it?
yeah, yeah,
Hey, so look, I had a homie earlier tell me in prison when you get kites, sometimes the niggas hold on to the kites uh until with the information on them, you might be cool with that certain nigga at that point, but later on down the line, you gonna utilize that kite, you know what I'm saying, against your enemy or
yeah,
whatever came to you, right? And that's kind of how I saw this because I was talking to the G homie and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, and Do Sims in here. I said, man, that's some fucked up shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That was my initial reaction. But
yeah.
that's why I got G homies
Well,
breaking it down. These niggas is playing some
yeah,
kind of virtual warfare chess that I'm not playing that. I'm not playing the same game they playing. I guess.
yeah.
You know.
Well, like I said, and even if he did do it and he did it, then I just think he should have exposed it earlier. If that's what you're going to do, don't hold shit over my head. You're gonna do it, just do it. But he held
So
that shit over his head for a minute.
So let me get to a couple of these questions. This is the first question for you, Reggie. It says, Reggie, did Spider ask you for any kind of money for old girl number to get back at Nina? Nina, did you pay him for her info or did he just
Not a
volunteer?
penny.
Not a
Not a
penny.
penny. Not a
Okay.
penny.
He
We'll
just
move
And
on.
like I said, the only reason I think he did it because he was mad at him.
It says, ask Reggie when is the last time Tupac actual sales and streams have been updated. It's been at 75 million for about 6 years. That's a good question.
That's a good question, but I'm not in on that side. But I heard, I read something online now, and I put it on Bomb First, congratulating him, where it got up to 3 billion. So that's not
Oh,
true. Yeah,
mm,
I did that about, that might have been about 3 months ago. But tell them they should be able to pull up something online where it's something congratulating him for 3 billion.
it said, Reggie, would you let a Pyru give dirt to a Southside Crip?
I mean, I get that point on that, but they have. But it's all about the relationship. I'm more on relationship. I know Bloods and Crips that are better friends than Parus or Parus. You know, if you don't like a motherfucker, you just don't like them. You know. Yeah, it's all about relationships. But I get their point. I get their point. But we're in a different age. I mean, yeah, it's a different
Nah,
age.
you know what? I think
I
that's
get the point, though. I get the
the
point.
main thing. Some of us people that's in our 50s and 40s, we might have to understand is it's a new we got to get with the times. I guess we outdated, we dinosaurs, you know what I'm saying? Uh things that our parents and uncles and all of them thought was wrong. We was like, oh, you got to get with the times. I be feeling like that though. Do you feel like that sometimes? Like the young niggas is doing it already. They been doing it. It's us old people that's just not with the times.
It ain't just you old people, because some of us, and I'm 34, and there's some shit
Okay.
I'm trained like an older individual because I was raised by him. So my morals and things like that, that's what I roll with. But
Some good questions.
it ain't just the old one, bro.
Yeah.
So this
Tell
one
me.
says, tell him
It's
about
all
Palmer.
about you, and like you said, how you was brought up and how you was trained. Because some people, loyalty is everything with me. I'll be loyal to you, and like I said, I'll forgive you in a minute if I think you're sincere. But even like Deuce and Spider, they may be like, "All right, we cool." Well, I bet you neither one of those niggas ever say something on the phone to each other because now they know how they get down.
Yeah,
You know, and
good
just
point.
like you guys, Deuce the only bad thing about this is everybody should know and learn from this that he record calls or somebody. He said he don't know how to do it. I heard him say that. And I might even have to agree with him with that. Because he do every time he call me, he do usually have I call him LA Confidential, but
Yeah,
he corrected me. It's not
lost
LA Confidential. What is it?
Oh,
lost scandalous.
Los
scandalous.
Angeles. He always have him on the phone. So I think that's who
Shout
really
out
the
lost
one to be
scandalous.
recording. Shout
Yeah.
out to him. Cool dude. Don't say much.
Yeah.
Always, he let do talk. But
Right.
I think that's his technology guy.
So I don't know if this is a question or a statement, but it says, tell them about Palmer and Long Beach Boulevard. Do you know what they may be talking about?
Yeah. Palmer and Long Beach. That's uh Palmer and Long Beach. Okay, that's two of them. It could be Linwood or he talking about Compton, but Compton that's where my boy Melvin is. That's Melvin's shop. That's right across the street, Red Liquor. But that's where my boy Melvin Horde died at Palmer and Long Beach. But that's the area in Compton. Or it could be a area in Linwood. So not sure which one he's from. Well, shout out to both of those areas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not too many more questions on here. So, I mean, I just really want to say this, Reggie. You are a big part of the West Coast history and dialogue. You really can't go through that era without bringing up Reggie Wright Jr. because your name is attached to, in my opinion, the biggest artist ever, Tupac Shakur. So, and I'm one of the biggest fans of his. So, I feel like sometimes we focus on the wrong shit. We don't put out the right shit, which is a lot of these people we speaking on are tied to a lot of history, and they have a lot of stories to give that could be useful, learning,
That's true.
and building wise. But somewhere along the line, we tend to focus on the bullshit
Well,
too much.
that's what I'm about to say. But sometimes, and that's why I tell my partner John over there on Bomb First all the time. Sometimes you got to add the bullshit in with the with the what you're trying to teach or what you're really trying to get across, just to get their attention. And it's unfortunate. Sorry that way, but that's why sometimes maybe a little bit more animated than you want to, or say something a little bit more crazier. Because if you have a good message and nobody hear the message, what good is the message?
Yeah. Nah. And I think I just think some of this stuff just go too far. Like if I do a video on you and then you do another one popping back at me, I think sometimes that's where it should end. When y'all brothers is out here, man, spending a week, 2 weeks. I didn't get on here today, nor did Smokey. I think I speak for both of us and Reggie too. We didn't get on here to smut, do Sims, Spider
Facts.
No,
Low,
by no means. That was not my intentions
or
on
me.
either one.
Yeah, I
I
did.
hate that it happened. Like you said, hopefully just be a learning lesson for all of us, really, about the
Hey,
taping part, and two, the part about you know, it's a learning lesson, I'm sure, for Spider, where you can't do that to your homeboys and stuff like that.
yeah,
And so it's definitely a learning lesson for a lot of things. But we do it all the time. We do it to family members, everything. When we go,
we
and it's
Yeah.
called
imperfect
gossiping.
beings, though. We
Yeah,
imperfect beings.
yeah.
So I mean, we can't crucify everybody for every
Correct.
mistake that they make. Yesterday, I want to clarify one of my statements. I was a little bit. Remember, I said I'm a work in progress of not letting my emotions override my intellect. And I was like, ah, man, if y'all over there with Spider Loc, man, continue to follow Spider Loc Most Easty. Uh, I still reserve
That's
my
real
right.
shit, Dopest.
Yeah, I would still reserve my right to feel like in this instance, he was wrong. That
But he'll learn from it, and I think he'll be the first to admit it. But let's learn from it, and let's move on. It's a learning lesson for all of us.
yeah,
Learn from it.
yeah,
Like
Let
I
me
and
said
just ask
yesterday.
this. Let me just throw this out. If you go
yeah.
to a preacher and he been preaching you good word about God, preaching you from the Bible all the time, giving you good game, giving you good thing, and he relates and talk to how you understand, and he's like yourself. But then you find out he been cheating on his wife,
Yeah.
or he did this. Do everything you learned or heard from him, does all that go undone now?
Mm.
Not to
Just
me.
because I
We
think
all
we
make
need to look
mistakes.
at this situation like that. We fucked
But
up.
when, but
He fucked up.
when you talking about, and this is a conversation I've had with the big homies, and y'all in the comments, let me know if y'all have any knowledge of. You could, and I said this on my live, you could have 30 years of exemplary service to your neighborhood, and all that can go out the window with
Yeah,
one mistake,
it
one
can.
slip of the
But
tongue,
should it? Yeah,
one, you know what I'm saying, Reg?
yeah,
They not
yeah.
gonna talk about that 30 years of
Correct.
exemplary
Yeah.
service. That's done. He's now no good.
Yeah.
And uh I'm not part of the gang shit. I'm talking about Spider Loc, the YouTube content creator that I've supported, that I've watched. Uh, I want him to get better. That's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. And you talking about on another situation, and I'm totally agreement with you on that. But I just
Yeah.
want people to know, and for everybody to remember, he did apologize to both of those brothers for doing that.
But then
And,
he said Smokey a text said fuck Nina Boy. See, but that's
because
that.
now you hurt, you're under your feelings.
Yeah,
But he
yeah. But
apologized
he
to him
say his
because he
facts over
apologized to the
feeling.
man. He
Yeah,
apologized to the man, told the
yeah.
man what was about to happen and what was coming for me. And the man didn't say, fuck you then, or whatever. He went and did a video and let him show his, his feelings.
Yeah.
I would respect you more and be like, okay, I got to respond to this. This is how I'm responding to this. But he told him, it's all good, homie. Okay, I got you. No problem.
Hey, can I say this is Black History Month? So I just want to drop this on. I got a lot of people in the live. Let me say this. As a black man, I could never hate you. I love you because we were made in the image of God. So if you love God, I do not know how you cannot love another black man. That black man is your brother. And part of what we not doing on this internet, it is Valentine's Day, is elevating our queens. Our queens are
Good point.
uh they are the instructors and directors of our household. You know what I'm saying? We spend too much time, and y'all don't understand how this YouTube thing is working. These is all alpha males. Do y'all not get that? You
Yeah.
put a bunch of alpha males on a panel together, nobody wants to concede to the other. So
Yeah.
I don't blame them for their alpha. That's why you see all this posturing up. It's like a lion in the jungle. Y'all
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? That's what a lion does in the jungle. He postures up. So the other lion know, hey, either I'm with it or you gonna back down. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing on here. So when you see a Munchie B and a Spider Loke and a Nina Boy and a whoever getting into it, it's because it's the alpha in them. It shouldn't be no real hate. Y'all should understand and respect that about each other. That if I'm getting at you, like I got at Spider a little bit, I think I went over a little bit over the top, tiny bit. But it wasn't that. I'm an alpha male too. So what I say, it matters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We got to keep that in check. We got to understand and respect that about the next black man. And that's my Black History moment for the day. Okay,
And,
Hey,
next.
and my preaching moment for today is God is God forgive you. Why can't we forgive others? If
Yeah.
I've truly come to you and asked for your forgiveness or apologize to you.
no
Yeah.
real shit. And I'll say this to leave them with this, like I said yesterday, man, we quick to always tear each other down. We quick to run a smut campaign on each other, but we always the last ones to check on each other and make sure we straight. We got people in our family that do us wrong. We forgive them. Or we got celebrities we idolize that do some fuck shit. You forgive them. So, I mean, it's not hard to do the same thing with any situation. I'm not saying anybody really speaking to the Spider situation, but if Nina Boy is feeling his way and can let it go or move past it, then I mean, really anybody else can, because really that's between them two. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we
That's
got
the
to get
bottom
to a
line.
point.
Yeah.
We got to get to a point where we give a fuck about each other, because really we are all we got. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna destroy this motherfucker before another country do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, give it time. I'm sure they'll work it out.
Reggie, you
They'll
got
work it
anything
out.
you want to lead the people with, man?
No, just respect to your channel, and y'all keep up the good work, and keep pushing it and grinding. And thanks for having me on your show and
Hey,
I
reaching out to
appreciate
me.
it, Reggie.
it definitely was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Respect, y'all got me. Anytime y'all need me, call me.
All right, I'm
All
gonna
right, my
tap in
boy.
with you.
We
All right,
definitely.
smoke. All right, respect, dope.
Yeah,
That
man.
was the. You gotta say legendary, whether you like him or not, because he a part of, like we said, hip hop history and culture. Uh, Shout out to the Smokey Show for putting that together. He hit me with that. I said, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun."
Yeah, most
Uh,
definitely. We had to do it, bro. We had to do it. Like I told you, bro. It ain't a me thing. It's a us thing. So when we doing this, whatever I got, man, we got. And I know you got it the same way for me. So, bro, it's all love, and I appreciate you always answering the phone, always coming through, and keeping it 100 with me, bro. Ain't never switched up.
I saw these comments. Let me address a couple of these comments. Uh, and make sure y'all do me a favor. Please go over there. I see I got a lot of folks in here. Smokey building his channel up, man. He's really tapped in and getting the content and reaching out and connecting with people. So I would love to see his channel grow, man. He deserves it. He got some great stories over there. They not really stories, they actual reality. You also go check out the piece he got about his mom being unalived and him dealing with trying to help free the man that was accused of unaliving his mom. I feel like that's just a dope piece of content that y'all can get something out of. You know what I'm saying? Uh I'm very opinionated. I'm passionate about my people. Like I said, I love y'all, whether y'all like me or not. It ain't that's not why I love y'all. I love y'all because I'm supposed to. Um Spider Loke, I love you, bro. I gave Spider Loke his flowers long time ago. He is the soldier boy of this YouTube or social media podcast and shit. I just feel like we could do better. I know I'm working every day to do better. Um, you know, me being Smokey's elder, uh, I learned things from him. But it's also my obligation to teach him any and everything that I know, not just about this podcast and shit, but about life. So that's what we in this for. I ain't in here. Look, I can't sing.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to see me dance. So I'm not I'm finna be up here cooning for you niggas. I'm just tell you that.
Facts. Facts.
Now go ahead.
No, you right, man. Hey, man, we gonna see who we got coming next. We gonna work on some shit. We gonna try to make this a common thing to bring different type of people up and get different perspectives. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, people got short attention spans, so they don't half of y'all don't want to sit there and just hear us rambling about some shit that makes sense or some shit that don't. So we gonna try to make it interesting when we come up on here and give y'all some perspectives that are different from different people from all around this motherfucker. So, man, I salute everybody in the chat. Lisa been going ham in this motherfucker, man.
Yeah, Lisa was coming with it. I said, yeah, I had to wrench her up. Also, let me tell y'all, I got a T-Dog from Pomona Trey 57. I got Brother Adisa, known in his former life as Sneak Loke from Insanes. I got BG from Kelly Park. I got T-Bone from Skyline. I got a lot of brothers. All these brothers have done over 27 years in the penitentiary. Names is good, solid brothers, but they not gonna be on here talking about that. If y'all go watch any of my past content, I have a few pieces with some of them on there, but we gonna be talking about the other side of this. If y'all really want better from us blacks in this YouTube space, support the people that want to enlighten. You know, I know the drama is cool. We can all go tap in, but don't forget about the brothers and sisters that's in. I can't forget about the sisters that's in this other lane. That's trying to bring it together and not tear it apart. I really wish in a perfect world, Munchie B, Spider Loke, Whack, Loose, and all these brothers that's in this YouTube space could find a way to coexist. We know that's not reality, right? But just remember, it's other channels on the dial. There are brothers like Smokey, myself, and others that have a message even when they presenting this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because it is nonsense. Anything against another black is treason. You're going against your own. It's betrayal of your own kind. So I ain't never gonna change up on that. That's why a lot of these people that I was doing content with months ago, I don't deal with, because I'm always gonna end every conversation about uniformity amongst blacks. And that's that.
Hey, Dopest, you said it better than I could at this point. So I'm gonna let that land like that on y'all. And we're going to tap back in with y'all next time. Y'all tuned in to probably, I think, this episode 3 or maybe 4 Grown Man Time. We will have another one. So salute y'all and thanks for tapping in.
One love.